I have a bad feeling about this.
La pregunta es, ¿a qué se enfrentarán los últimos Jedi? Todos queremos la respuesta y desenmascararlo en Star Wars Episodio 8. Así que, mi querido cinéfilo y cinéfila, acompáñame en esta entrevista para conocer los motivos y la experiencia junto a Daisy Ridley, Mark Hamill y su director Rian Johnson. Cinéfilos, qué orgullo y qué honor es estar sentada enfrente a uno de los íconos, si no es que el ícono más grande de la franquicia de Star Wars. Solamente saben a quién me refiero, al actor que interpreta al señor Luke Skywalker, Mr. Mark Hamill. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here with you.
Thank you so much.
And welcome to Mexico.
Thank you, Gabriela.
So you are back now. You are back. And you have a lot of experience with Star Wars. But what's the difference now, like being in the new set, new directors?
When I read The Last Jedi, I thought, this is shocking. It pushes me out of my comfort zone. I mean, I don't expect Luke to be cynical and pessimistic and a hermit. He was always so optimistic and positive. You know, I read the entire script. I know what happened, but I have only seen it once. I saw it with my wife, with no one else in the room. I said, boy, we've got to see this in front of an audience because it's got everything you want. There's action, adventure, there's humor. They've got such funny scenes, exotic creatures that you wouldn't believe. I mean, there's one set alone. I'm not giving anything away because it's a casino set, you know, like Monte Carlo in space, but they had 150 extras.
Wow.
In alien makeup with animatronic puppets that were meant to be like little, you know, lap dogs, but with tentacles. And I mean, it was crazy. I see so many elements of what used to be me.
Oh,
you know, I was a cocky pilot. Well, now Oscar Isaac
Yes.
is a cocky pilot. Rose and Finn are running through enemy territory just the way we used to run through the Death Star. Rey is someone who's discovering mythical powers within herself that she didn't know existed. So they've taken elements. I mean, I can relate to all these other characters the way I was originally conceived in the first film. But it's wonderful to see, and the more films you make, it's harder and harder to surprise people. But I remember reading the script and I was,
You were surprised.
I was shocked, yes.
Damn, if you were shocked, we're gonna be shocked.
I hope so, because it's a fun kind of shock.
I've seen this raw strength only once before. It didn't scare me enough then. It does now.
No podría estar más contenta de estar frente a una de las actrices que se volvió en una figura icónica de Star Wars. Ya saben que me encantan los personajes femeninos fuertes. Miss Daisy Ridley, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I'm very happy to meet you.
Thank you.
So now you are with the Force. You have more experience in this Star Wars universe. But how was it different to the first movie, The Force Awakens, and this one?
I think it's sort of like Rey getting into The Force Awakens. I had no idea what I was getting into because I thought I was signing up to a film. And I knew Star Wars was a big deal, but I didn't realize how massive it was. So I was like, rolling through it. And second time around, I knew what I was getting back into. I knew what people had liked about the first one, and so I felt a greater sense of knowing what was going on and having an understanding of it as Rey does in the film. There's a sense of, even though she's still searching, she knows more now what it is she's searching for.
Sure, now she's not like all lost and everything.
Exactly.
Now she has like a path
Exactly,
to follow.
she has a direction.
First time shooting a Star Wars movie, and we got some cool stuff. Sad like a dog whimper.
Ahora me encuentro con la mente detrás de este nuevo proyecto, el director Rian Johnson. It's a pleasure to be here with you. I have so many questions for you.
What do you want to know? I'm an
Everything.
open book. I'm
Are
an
you
open
ready?
book. Yes,
All
hit me.
right. So, Star Wars, it's a huge risk, and I think it's something crazy to go into. So why did you decide to go into it?
Yeah, I felt the same way about it coming into it, especially because it's something that I deeply care about. I've been a Star Wars fan since I was a little kid.
All right.
It's always meant a lot to me, so I didn't want to mess it up. And I think once I started like coming into it and coming into the family that makes these movies, I realized it's less scary than you'd think.
Really?
Yeah, it's actually a really kind of intimate, cool group of folks at Lucasfilm who really care about these movies.
I'm gonna make you some quick questions.
Okay.
So you just can answer as fast as you can.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
BB-8 or R2-D2?
BB-8.
The main theme of Star Wars or Imperial March?
Oh! Main theme.
Okay. Your favorite quote?
Do or do... Wait, what is it? Do or do not, there is no try. I can't remember the quote! I think it's do or do not.
And finally, the Dark Force or Jar Jar Binks?
Oh! 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 I say the Dark Force.
He's embarrassing.
You ready?
Okay.
Okay. BB-8 or R2-D2?
Well, I have to say I'm loyal. I say R2. He saved more people than any single character in all the Star Wars movies, and he never got a medal.
Well, he has to get a medal now.
I think so. And Chewie too.
Oh yeah. Do you know how to make the Chewie?
No, I'm not good.
That was a good try.
Can you do?
No.
Okay.
No. I suck at that. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Good one.
Everybody does it better than me.
Your favorite quote?
I have a bad feeling about this.
All right.
I was the first one to say that, by the way. Now it's, do you know now it's in every single Star Wars film, even the prequels, at some point. In fact, in The Phantom Menace, it's the very first thing they say. They walk into a room and he says, I have a very bad feeling about this. So I got there first, but everyone can relate to that.
Yes.
Whether you're sitting in school waiting for the exam to be passed out or meeting your boyfriend's parents.
Yes.
You know, that's a line that always pops up in everyone's heads. I have a very bad feeling about this.
And last one, the Dark Force or Jar Jar Binks?
I have a very bad feeling about this.
The Dark Force or Jar Jar Binks? I think Jar Jar Binks is very misunderstood.
You think?
I do, because he was meant to be annoying. People say, oh, he's so annoying. I said, well, he's meant to be annoying. At one point, doesn't Liam Neeson grab his tongue? So, I mean, to each his own. I thought the R2 and 3PO were the funniest part of the original Star Wars. I mean, robots arguing over whose fault it is, you don't expect that from machines. So, but humor is a subjective thing. What some people find funny, other people don't find funny. But I would pick anything over the Dark Force, believe me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Daisy, she choose the Dark Force.
She did?
Yes, and not Jar Jar
Oh, she's
Binks.
a naughty girl. And I don't want anybody to interpret this as, oh, it's a spoiler, he doesn't choose the dark side. Maybe in the movie I do. I won't know until December 15th.
Something for me that's very special is having female characters. And I remember that in the last film, there was all this issue with the Mary Sue thing. And
oh, yeah.
Yes, and I was like, come on, like we have seen guys doing everything, being super powerful, and now we have a girl.
I don't buy the Mary Sue thing anyway. I find the term sexist in itself because it's Mary Sue. I don't think there's a thing called Ryan Craig.
Of course.
When I was doing it, I never felt sure of, like playing her, I never felt sure of what was going on. It wasn't like, this is happening and I'm so powerful and look at me go. And essentially all I found Rey trying to do in the first one was she was trying to do the right thing. Like she was trying to help BB-8 and then she was trying to help Finn and now she's trying to help the Resistance. It's not a sort of self-centered power that she's just exhibiting, because also she didn't ask for anything in the first one. Like she wasn't asking to go on this adventure, it was just an awesome adventure.
Yeah, actually she kind of runs away, right?
Exactly.
When she sees the lightsaber, she's like, I don't want this.
Exactly. So I think now she has time with Luke.
So now that I know that you were a super fan, who was your favorite character?
Luke. Luke was my guy.
Wow.
Yeah, because I was a little kid. I was growing up in Colorado, just in the middle of the United States. So to see this kid from the middle of nowhere on Tatooine get called into this great adventure, it's what I wanted when I was a little kid.
So you felt like identified with that character?
I did, and so it was very strange for me meeting and getting to work with Mark and sitting across from Luke Skywalker trying to give him direction. I would go, I would get tongue-tied very often.
How was it to work with Mark Hamill? Because probably you worked before, but now that we see the real interaction.
It was amazing, because the first time around, obviously, it was just one moment.
Yes.
Which was still amazing.
Very epic.
Yeah, so it was very exciting. Mark is amazing. He's amazing. He's an amazing actor and he's a wonderful man. And I feel really lucky too, because I think all of us do sort of, but I've got to act pretty much with everyone. Like,
Yes.
I've got to work with everyone. So I feel very lucky that I've got to do that. And Mark was another.
I know that, and I've seen many stories on internet from the fans. Did you ever came across a story that you thought it was really cool and incorporated something, or no?
Nothing that I ever incorporated into it.
Okay.
I mean, I think there is a ton of really cool stuff that the fans do, whether it's stories or artwork. Some of the most striking artwork I've seen for this movie has been fan art that I've seen online. It's incredible what they create.
What would you say is like the best advice you get from some of the actors?
I think what Mark, Harrison and Carrie did do is embrace it, because it's very overwhelming. I didn't know what this was, and I think there's just a sense that they embrace it and it doesn't have to be scary. It can just be wonderful, because it's a wonderful thing that brings a lot of people together. So yeah.
I think that's a good advice for like everything in life.
Yeah,
I want to
exactly.
take that advice. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gabriela.
Such an honor to be
Mark,
here with
thanks
you.
for having
Thank
me.
you. I'm really hoping to see this film. Looking forward for it.
Thank you.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, yeah.
Cinéfilo, cinéfila, espero que hayan disfrutado mucho de esta entrevista. Y a nombre de todo el equipo de Fuera de Foco, agradezco tu apoyo constante, que es el que nos abre las puertas para estas geniales oportunidades para traerte cada vez mejor y mayor contenido de cine. ¿Qué esperas de la película? ¿Aún no la has visto? ¿Ya la viste? Déjame todas tus impresiones aquí abajo en los comentarios. Queremos conocer tu opinión. También te voy a dejar en la descripción del video mis redes sociales para que puedas seguirme en Facebook, Instagram, Twitter y por supuesto escuchar el podcast de Fuera de Foco. Mi nombre es DMC con Z. Adiós.